About pre-scene for March 2025. Obviously, we're having some information about the company, about its industry, the requirements, and some further exhibits you will see while sitting in the exam center. So let's discuss what's the data given, what is the information about the company so that we can guess what examiner can ask. Or at least before moving towards exam, we must be having at least three good reading to this pre-scene, so that everything relating to company should be in our mind, because we need to link every requirement with the company information. So this information should be in our mind properly. So introduction: historic places HP is a charity which operates in the country of Eardesia. It aims to preserve historical sites in Eardesia. Preserve historical sites in Eardesia. Okay. Eardesia sector information overview of charitable sector. Charities, charitable organizations promote the welfare of society and public interest. We know. Obviously, they do not work for profit, they work for what? Society as well as public interest. They carry out many different activities, including helping the sick and disabled, providing poverty relief and education, preserving history, and campaigning on issues affecting society. Charities raise funds through various methods, including donation by those who support their work and commercial activities. The charitable sector include large national charities and small charities which operates on a single site. See how he's explaining about charity business like you are babies. You haven't studied about charity, you haven't practiced any of the charity case study. He's explaining about charities like that. Charities legal position. Charities in ADC are often set up as companies limited by guarantee. Companies limited by guarantee mean they are registered charity in ADC. Without registration, they cannot operate. A company limited by guarantee does not have any shares or shareholders. It underwritten by guarantee who guarantee to pay a specified amount of money to help settle its debt only in the event of insolvency. Mean they sign a guarantee letter, like in case of our company death, we will settle the liabilities. Surplus are not distributed to the guarantors but invested in charity to help promote its charitable objective. Charities' activities are determined by their governing document constitution. Mean policies, procedures, accordingly they need to spend their income. They need to spend the donation. There could be some conditions. Many charities raises funds by means of surpluses from commercial activities. Like we have seen in BCO, they were generating income through shops and cafes. Those are commercial activities. For example, running the shops, commercial activities are carried out through subsidiary companies which charities wholly own. Means sometimes they buy some subsidiaries for commercial activities so that the profit from commercial activities they can invest in the charity to meet charitable aim. Charity regulations. Charities in ADCA are regulated by the Charity Supervisory Body established by ADCA central government. This means legal restrictions are there that they need to meet. The CSB, Charity Supervisory Body, aims to ensure that the general public can be confident that donations to charities will be used for proper charitable purposes. The CSB investigates allegations that charities are not acting in accordance with their charitable objectives, are behaving unethically, are misusing of funds, or otherwise breaching regulations. Mean there is monitoring from the government authority over charity business in ADCA. They cannot operate freely. They need to register their business. They need to provide a guarantee for the loan settlement, and they need to work under close supervision monitoring of the government body CSP. The content of charities accounts is governed by a statement of recommended practice SORP. Statement of recommended practice. Who will provide this? At CSV. They will provide some rules they need to follow. Published by CSB, the CSB require all charity accounts to be audited. Audit is compulsory. Larger charities whose annual income exceed $10 million for their audit is compulsory. Below 10 million income, audit is not compulsory. Need to report on internal controls and risk management system as well. With the report being reviewed by the charity external auditor, mean that report should also be verified, attested. Charities and commercial subsidiaries wholly owned by charities are not subject to taxation in ADCA, mean they are exempted from tax. Even the charity and their wholly owned subsidiaries. Heritage subsector. Many charities in ADCA exist for the purpose of preserving the country's heritage at urban and rural sites, so that they can maintain the heritage, the rituals of the area. Heritage means things of historical or cultural value which are worthy of preservation. Charities in the heritage subsector conserve and maintain historical sites, including buildings and museums, and objects kept at those sites. They generally allow public admission to the site which they maintain. Like old historical building, they try to maintain those buildings and they allow public to visit those buildings. Heritage purpose. Heritage charities aim to bring history to life of our visitors. They can feel happy, they can feel good while visiting those old places. So they seek to encourage public appreciation of and participation in heritage. This include encouraging members of the public to visit site and work for charities as unpaid volunteers. And this company, HP, is what? Mainly working as a heritage charity because their aim is to preserve historical sites in ADCA. Heritage charities are also concerned with education. They provide awareness, education to the people about the heritage, about the history. The host visits from groups of school children and students at their site. Some established formal links with the schools and universities. A number of charities provide training in conservation and other activities, like BCO. They also provide awareness, training, education about the work they are doing. The two largest heritage charities in ADCA are Historic Places HP, which mainly looks after site over 300 years old, and Living the Past LTP, which mainly cares for site which are less than 300-year old. There are two main heritage charities in ADCA. One is our company, Historic Place HP, that focusing mainly on 300-year-old buildings properties, and other is LTP, could be compactor, who are mainly focusing on the building those are less than 300-year-old. Our company name is what? HP. This means that LTP is what? Compactor. Another charity. Heritage charity is significant stakeholder, trustees. Trustees are individuals who oversee a charity activities. They are responsible for ensuring that it acts in accordance with its charitable objective and constitution, and complies with regulations. Trustee should ensure that the charity's control and risk management system are effective and that the charity is managed with honesty and integrity. They develop the charity's strategic direction in conjunction with the executive management, similar wording of BCO and NCCP. What trustee does. And we are reading like this. So trustees are accountable for the charity's activities to the charity's supporters. And there is a static on supporters. I mean, there is some information about supporters. The charity supervisory board, who is monitoring activities, I mean, they are accountable towards government body, charity supervisory board, who trustees, because they are making strategies, they are preparing plans. And the general public as well. Obviously, government is representing to whom? General public. So that general public funds should not be misused. If they are getting a donation, that is from general public. Or even if they are taking any funds from government, that is of general public, not of government. And who is representing general public? The government body, charity supervisory board, and they have stated some rules that they need to follow. If their income is up to 10 million or above, they must be audited. They need to report on internal control risk management. Executive management, executive managers are employees responsible for the day-to-day operations. They normally meet regularly as an executive board or committee. Other paid employees. Paid employees include head office administration staff and staff working full or part-time at the sites. Volunteers carry out unpaid work at a charity's site in their spare time. They have no contractual obligation to keep volunteering. I mean, they could move, they could leave anytime, they could be absent. Donors give monies to charities without expecting anything in return. Donors may give on a one-off or on regular basis. Member pay an annual fee or a one-off fee for life membership, which gives them certain privileges depending upon what the charity does. The most important privilege which membership gives them are free admission to site operated by the charity and voting at the charity's annual general meeting, including electing trustees. So who are electing a board of trustees? Members. Members are long-term people attached with the charity. They are selecting the trustees. They are paying annual fee or lifetime fee. They will be having voting rights to elect trustees because trustees are elected through voting of members. Members like shareholder who is funding the company, but they are not getting any return. They are having facility to visit sites freely, and they are having some power to vote at the AGM. Non-member visitors, non-member pay an admission fee to have access to the site. Guarantors guarantee a specified amount to help settle a charity's debts if the charity becomes insolvent, but are generally not otherwise involved with the charity activities. Could be some members who are working as guarantor as well, who have provided guarantee, like if this charity will not be able to pay that, who will pay, don't worry. More wealthy individuals, members. Charity, the CSB, act on behalf of AirDCA government in overseeing charities activities. Media stories in media can illustrate the good work charities are doing. However, media coverage can also be a source of bad publicity. For example, stories about charities wasting money. And there was some static on supporters. Trustees are accountable for the charity activities to the charity supporters. Who are supporters? Stakeholders who give money are non-financial resources like donors, volunteers, members, non-member visitors are sometimes known collectively as a supporter of a charity. In the people who are funding, who are providing funds, donors, members, volunteers. So these are what stakeholder of the company. They have provided a list. There could be some requirement you need to evaluate the stakeholder influence, who is having high power, who is having low power, who is having high interest, who is having low interest, what how business should manage them, to whom they should keep informed, to whom they should satisfy regarding what. Heritage charities income charities raises money in several ways. Donations. Charities obtain donations in various ways, contacting possible donors through the post, email, or text message, or giving visitors the chance to donate when they visit the historical site. Charities encourage donations by advertisement, including advert on the television and social media. Most charities have a website which they allow donors to donate on them. Charities retain content detail of previous donors and focus marketing campaigns on obtaining further donations from them. Membership annual or one-off lifetime membership fees. Admission fees charged to non-members who visit charity sites. Commercial activities, commercial income can come from various sources. Most sites have catering facilities, cafes, and restaurants at the site. Smaller catering facilities may only provide snacks and drinks. Large facilities will offer full meals. Charities may open some of the sites for hospitality events, such as corporate events or weddings. Most sites also have shops. Smaller shop may just sell guidebooks or other items connected to the site. For example, books about the historic period when the site was in use. Large shops sell a greater variety of products such as greeting cards, toys, household items, clothing, and bags. Some of the items may be branded with the charity's logo. A small number of charities in AirDCA also operate shops which are not at their site, in some other shops as well, but which are located in shopping areas. These shops sell the same item which are sold at the charity's site. Some charity also sell their shop product online as well. This is their other source of income. So that if they are not generating enough donations, membership, they can survive through these commercial activities income. The purpose of creating these commercial activities is what? To provide funds to the charity. Heritage charity expenditure. What could be expenditure? Charity incur the following main category of expenditure. Site operating cost. These are day-to-day running expenses, including the wages of employees who work at the site. Cleaner, helper. Site maintenance and conservation cost. Site require varying amount of maintenance depending upon their age and condition. Some maintenance takes place regularly throughout a year and may be undertaken by the charity's employees or outside contractors. Sometimes a major one-off project are undertaken by outside contractors. If you need any modification, any repair in the site. Charities also incur cost conserving historical objects at their sites. These objects often require complex treatment carried out by the specialist. Admin cost. These include cost of fundraising and marketing the charity's activities, also the cost of administering membership. They also include the salary cost of the charity's executive managers and other head office administration staff. Charities can suffer bad publicity and attract less support if admin costs are believed to be too high. This means in the question there will be data given about company income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account data will be there while sitting in the exam center, and you need to analyze the performance and admin cost. You need to discuss according to this point, mean there will be bad publicity. If company is unable to control the admin cost, it could affect the members as well as donors due to bad publicity. Mean they have provided these are the income, these are the expenses, but their amounts are not there. This means amounts will be in paper income and expenditure account, like NCCP, PCO. When you see the information is almost same kind of expenses, almost same kind of incomes. Heritage charities challenges, external information, including risk as well. The principal challenge which charities face is the variety of factors which can cause a deterioration in the site and objects which they are trying to preserve. In issue of deterioration of the site and its object. These include the passage of time and natural conditions such as high humidity, pollution, and violent weather condition caused by climate change can accelerate deterioration or result in site damage, significant damage. Wear and tear from having a large number of visitors can also affect the site. How we can manage wear and tear? Through regular update, regular rectification, regular whitewash, paint. Through this, we can maintain this wear and tear. But there could be some deterioration to the site and object. For that, we can place some security guards over there who could ensure like the deterioration damage is not happened. Large charities are also dependent upon recruiting sufficient volunteers to ensure these are enough staff at each site. Volunteers are unpaid, thus saving charities a salary cost, but their hours and attendance may not be regular and they may decide to stop volunteering suddenly. So this is another risk. They could lose the company. If they are losing, ultimately we are losing an expert person, trained person. So we should not rely mainly on volunteers. Along with volunteers, we should assign one permanent staff member as well. Because if they are absent or they are leaving, our workflow should be maintained. 10 minutes. Heritage charities face the challenge that non-heritage charities are also seeking donations. I mean, there are some other type of charities like substitute. Non-heritage charities are what? Substitute. One was your competitor. I mean, other substitute charities are also available. We covered one question, wetland. There was substitute. There was competitor as well. We applied the SWOT on that. So potential donors are likely to receive communications from many charities. Obviously, other charities are also targeting the donors. They are providing information. Charities which are in the news at particular times may raise considerable sums of money. This means you need to market your charity business in a news as well. Social media marketing. But this may mean that donors give less to other charities which they normally support. At present, there is a recession in ELS, ADCA, economic factor. As a result, many charities have seen a fall in donation. I'm expecting like a SWOT type requirement, like a wetland, like wetland SWOT type. because there is information about competitor, there is information about substitute. Now the pastoral factors are there, government political factor is there, economic is there, social, technological, ecological, legal. So heritage charities key performance indicators, financial indicators, membership fee. This means we'll be asked to evaluate financial, non-financial as well. They will provide its income and expenditure account and KPIs and will be asked to measure that. Membership fee, donation, site admin fee, income from commercial activities, shop and catering, income generated per visitors from shop and catering is similar like BCO. Expenditure, site operating cost, site maintenance and conservation cost, admin expenses, and employee cost. And there is concern about admin expenses. If they are too high, it could affect reputation of the business. Operating margin, surplus of income over expenditure. Non-financial indicators, number of members, increase or decrease. Donors, increase or decrease are their income. Volunteers, visitor to site. Education and development, number of education visits to site. Means schools, universities who visit to the site. How many visited in previous year, how many visited in this year. Training days for staff and volunteers. Average time spent on training, every days on for training of the employees. And the trainees employed, how many trainees are there. Conservation, preservation, number of hours spent on conservation. Object worked on, maintenance project completed. And satisfaction, feedback from members and visitors, feedback from employees and volunteers, and percentage of annual member renewing, non-financial. And environment, resource consumption, environmental factor, percentage of energy obtained from renewable sources, waste and recycling rates, emission. Regarding this, there will be information in exhibits. Historic places, background. Now moving towards company information. Historic places, HP operates in a heritage charity sector and was founded 120 years ago. HP is a large charity which looks after around 350 sites over 300 years old. About 350 sites they are having. Many of the sites are castle and are museum. It does not look after any site with the religious connection. Entertainment site. HP is a company limited by guarantee. HP senior management and most administration staff are based at head office in Air capital city. HP commercial activities are undertaken by a subsidiary with HP wholly owns. Mission and values. HP mission is that it permanently protect and preserve a site entrusted to it and promotes interest in and access to them. Not only preserving, protecting site, providing access and promoting awareness, interest through education. The values which HP promotes are historical truth, accessibility, enjoyment, involvement, transparency, inclusivity, diversity, and social environmental responsibilities that and stewardship. These are what their values. There could be some requirement to evaluate the values of the HP, whether they are meeting these things or not. There was one requirement in a case study where we evaluated codes of ethics of the company.
Yes.
What was that case study? Coastal Oil. So the company's values are given. Might be there could be some requirement to evaluate these values of the company, whether the company is meeting this or not. Governance. HP has a two-tier governance structure with the board of trustee and board of executive directors. The board of trustees is responsible for the overall control and management of HP. and the developing its strategies in consultation with the board of executive directors. The board of trustees has audit, nomination, and remuneration committee, no risk committee. The board of trustees has 9 members. The chair is responsible by the trustees and does not have a fixed term of office. HP's members do not vote on the appointment of the chair. The trustees select the chairman from themselves without the membership voting. Like trustee, nominate one of their leader as a chairman. Nominated trustee, 5 trustees are nominated by HP's nomination committee. Their appointment is subject to a confirmation vote by HP members. If they are confirmed in office by the vote, they then serve the act for 3 years and can then seek reappointment. In every 3 years, they are re-elected. Member elected trustees, 3 trustees are elected by HP members at the charity's annual general meeting. Trustee elected by members also serve for 3 years and can seek re-election at the end of 3 years. The board of trustees is supported by a board of executive directors. The executive board, 2-tier board structure they are running. So there could be requirement regarding 2-tier structure, board structure advantages like BCO. The executive directors are appointed by the board of trustees on the advice of the nomination committee. HP's member do not vote on appointment of executive directors. The executive board is responsible for the day-to-day management of the operations of HP. The executive board is headed by the chief executive officer. The remuneration of executive board members, including the chief executive officer, is determined by the remuneration committee. Good. Executive board, chief executive officer, operation director, finance director, marketing director, HR, IT. Code of conduct. HP has a code of conduct which trustees, executive directors, other paid employees, and volunteers are expected to follow. The code includes core principles relating to professional behavior, commitment, adherence to decisions made by the board, confidentiality, conflict of interest, and bribery. Codes of ethics. Corporate codes of ethics, including fundamental principle as well. Acquisition of site. HP acquires a building and other sites as a gift from previous owners or by purchasing them using HP surplus fund. HP will only acquire sites which are of national importance and are under threat of destruction or deterioration over time. So they acquire so that they can preserve that building. Operational activities. Every HP site is open to members and other visitors. An admission charge is payable by non-members to access the site. The amount charged varies between sites depending on what can be seen at the site. How often sites are open also varies. Site must sometimes be closed for a period of maintenance, and opening times can also depend on their staffing levels. So this could affect visitor revenue if you are closing for maintenance period. HP aims to enhance the experience of visitors to its site by providing guides to give tour and answer questions about the site. On-site information and exhibitions about aspect of the site's history. It also aims to stimulate interest by, for example, encouraging children to spot features at a site or object kept there. HP education objective is focused on hosting visits of groups of school children and explaining to them the significance of what they are visiting, explaining about the building, its history. Sites also offer special events, including performance about the site's history aimed at children and families. Every site has a shop. The size of the shop determines what is stocked there. big shop, more items, small shops, small items. Every site also has catering facilities where visitors can sit down and eat. Smaller sites only provide snacks and drinks. Larger sites offer full meal. HP's best known site include Malak, Dagenham, Birmingham, Stillwater, and Throworth. MDPSP. These are five best known sites. Stakeholders. Detail about key stakeholders of HP are given below. Why again detail about stakeholder? Members. HP has around 5 million members. Oh my God, 5 million. HP offers annual membership only. Only annual, no lifetime membership. No, membership is you are member of ACCA. You are paying what annual? Or you could pay lifetime as well. Now they have offered option. You can become lifetime member as well if you are too old, above a certain age. Benefit of membership include free admission to the site and regular newsletter and emails. Members have the right to attend HP's annual general meeting. They can vote on appointment of trustees, receive HP's annual reports and financial statements, and approve the appointment of the auditors, like shareholders. They can also submit resolutions which are not binding on the trustees, but which the trustee must take into consideration. Employees HP have around 4,000 full-time and part-time employees, including staff who work for the wholly owned commercial subsidiary. They work at HP's head office and site. Some have worked for HP for a long time. Generally, HP pays average salaries for jobs across the charity sector, which are lower than would be paid for equivalent jobs in a commercial organization. Many employees are prepared to accept lower salaries than they would obtain outside the charity sector because of their commitment to HP's mission. Means some are low paid as well. Volunteer HP has around 20,000 volunteers who play a very significant role in its operations. Predominantly, volunteers act as guides, work in catering facilities and shops, and help maintain sites, but they can leave anytime. They are not having any fixed contract of timing. Suppliers and contractor, the choice of supplier and inventory policy of the catering facilities and shops is determined centrally by HP procurement function. In only one supplier will be supplying in every building. HP uses external contractors for regular site maintenance and major projects. Contractors for large single projects are employed on a one-off basis. In only that contractor will work over there. IT system, HP information system are adequate for its administration needs and are fully compliant with the data protection regulations. Data protection law you need to comply with because you are maintaining data of your members, you are maintaining data of your 24,000 employees. So HP's computerized information system cover major operational function. HP has a website which publicizes its activities and allows donation to be made and members to join. There are separate web pages for each of HP site, including details about the site such as history, maps, facilities, and news. Risk. HP maintain a risk register at its head office covering significant charity-wide risk, including NCCP was having a risk register, BCO was having a risk register. Threat to reputation. This is a risk. Bad publicity about HP can lead to members not being willing to renew their membership, donation not being willing to donate, and volunteers no longer being willing to work for HP. Other threat to income. The recession in AirDCA may limit donors' willingness to donate to HP. Visiting HP's site is one of very many leisure activities available to individuals and families, and the risk is that visits will become less popular, reducing income from admission and commercial activities. Loss of employees and volunteers. If employees and volunteers leave and cannot be easily replaced, then the experience offered to visitors to sites may be affected and the sites may be open less frequent. Some conservation work requires specialist staff, and loss of these staff members may affect HP ability to carry out work on site or historic objects. Insufficient financial resources. If income is less than expected or needed, HP may not have the financial resources to carry out all necessary conservation work. In fundraising pressure. Poor performance by suppliers and contractors, poor quality goods provided by suppliers can reduce visitor satisfaction. Poor performance by contractors can mean the HP does not obtain value for money and may also jeopardize the conservation of building. Health and safety. These can affect people working at and visiting the site. Site have potential hazards, including slippery surface and steepy staircase. Extreme weather may also create hazardous conditions at some sites. Climate and weather. Poor weather can affect visitor members at site where visitors are wholly or mostly outdoors. Extreme weather such as excessive heat, high winds, or rain can damage sites. Cybersecurity risk. HP computer system face the risk of disruption, jeopardizing the administration and the services which it provides. Leakage of data held about members and donors could result in legal action. Loss of reputation and unwillingness of members and donors to provide their personal support. Detail. Website extract. Inspire. We want to inspire everyone who visit us in imaginative and authentic ways. We aim to stimulate our visitors' minds and provoke their emotions. Access to our country's history enriched everyone's life. We want our visitors to have the privilege of standing on the spot where historic histories happened and to live in our country's story. Engage and entertainment, evolve, conserve, sustain. This is all about company information, what they are doing. Financial and non-financial information. If we see company income, it's having increasing trend. Company income is having, these are years and these are numbers. So this is increasing trend. Like in 20x0, it was 735. Now it has moved towards 800. Is that? Operating expenses are also increasing. Split of income in 20x3. Major source of income is a membership. They are having how many? 5 million. Donations, admission, catering, and shops. Split of operating expenses. The main expense is site operating. The staff they have over there. Site maintenance and conservation and admin cost. Number of visit members and non-members in million, it has increased as compared to previous years. Number of members increasing. There could be stakeholder, risk analysis, financial, non-financial performance measurement, external analysis, could be Pastel 5-4C both. Because there was information about compactor and there was information about and substitute as well. Supplier information was also there. Who are your customer? Members, donors. Is it? What else could be there? Pastel, not the Pastel, SWOT, mainly you can say Pastel and 5-4Cs. Yeah. No SWOT, or could be SWOT. SWOT is also having factors, opportunities, threats of Pastel and 5-4C. Yeah, exactly. For that, you need to provide internal information for strengths, weaknesses. Even based on financial data, we can identify strengths, weaknesses. What else could be there?
Ethics.
Ethics, yeah, codes of ethics, corporate codes of ethics,
What about values?
board structure,
Is there a possibility in poor performance by supplier and contractor?
yeah. He could ask for mitigation because mitigations are not there for risk. They have just explained the risk, how they are mitigating, what is their impact, their probability. There's information is not there. He could ask 3-4 risk mitigation, not all. What else? What else you can expect? There could be some IT based as well topic.
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, IT based. IT controls mainly. IT controls over the system.
Misuse of information.
There is a data protection principles as well. We covered in one case study about data protection law. So these topic could be expected. But you must attempt NCCP and BCO properly after reading their suggested answer. Please read their answer thoroughly for each requirement. Because what I'm expecting, half of the requirement will be similar to these two. Because data is similar to them.
Requirement लेके तो हम इसको एक mind में solve कर सकते हैं ना?
Exactly. If you have practiced these two, NCCP and BCO properly, you'll be able to tackle this case study. So wish you best of luck.